Hi, Sharks. My name is Maurice, and this is my son, Miles. We're from Chico, California.
Shout out to Chico.
Today, we are seeking 200,000 smackers for 10% of our business storm bag.
2 million.
Sharks, when a flood is on the way, the last thing that you want to be doing is shoveling sand. Traditional sandbags require back-breaking labor, not to mention thousands of pounds of sand. But what if we were to tell you that there is a much easier way to keep the water at bay? That in a matter of only a few minutes, you and you alone can build a wall like this with no shoveling and no sand required.
Introducing our invention, the storm bag. It's a sandbag that needs no sand, almost takes no labor to deploy. All you simply do is add water.
It's pretty cool.
You can see the time lapse right there, how easy it is to deal with the bag. When the storm bag is dry, it only weighs 1 pound, but in 3 to 5 minutes, it weighs a whopping 30 pounds.
Wow.
The best thing about the storm bag is that it can be used by anyone, regardless of their physical ability. And with your help, we can bring Storm Bag to the next level, allowing more people to protect their homes and businesses.
Sharks, who's ready to join the team and revolutionize the way we all weather the storm?
Welcome back to another Shark Tank breakdown reaction video. I'm your host, Dave, an almost 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from trademarks to copyrights to NILs, trade secrets, and yep, you guessed it, patents. Now, this is an interesting one, and I would imagine, I'm not sure if Lori's on the panel. She's typically the one that asks about patents and things like that. This is actually a pretty cool invention. The three things that I do look for when I'm kind of reviewing these videos as an IP attorney is how simple is it? Simple is always what they say. Kids keep it simple. Simple is always better. A lot of times people try to show the cool invention and all its complexity and everything. And hey, man, the customer is ultimately going to use it. And the more simple it is for the customer, the better. So simplicity of the product is always something that I look for. The effectiveness of it. And effectiveness is typically, you can tell that by either sales or just the reviews on it. Especially for the startups, it's kind of hard to be able to tell how effective it is, especially on the Shark Tank episode, on the Shark Tank review videos. It's tough to tell how effective something is when they're kind of highlighting the great parts about it. But typically the review video, the reviews of the product on Amazon or the website, or if it has a lot of sales, that lets me know that the product is effective. And the last thing is the market. If you have a pretty big market and simplicity is in order and effectiveness in order, then you stand to make a ton of money on your product. But even if simplicity is there and effectiveness is there and your product is in a niche market, that doesn't necessarily mean you're out of the loop or not going to make money. You probably just don't make the millions upon millions of dollars that you would if the market was huge. Again, to the extent that you have a market that's more niche, that's not an issue. You probably just don't make a ton of money. But if you have simplicity and effectiveness and the market is there, then again, it's time to get paid. So just kind of some early assessments. Again, I don't watch these things beforehand. I try to watch these things in real time. The simplicity appears to be there. The effectiveness, it seems to be there. But again, it's just kind of based on the highlights. I'm sure when they get off into the sales, Mr. Wonderful typically asks about the sales. How much are you making? If the sales are there, then that kind of lets me know that it is an effective product. And then I know the market is, it's a pretty good market. It's a pretty strong market. I'm not sure. I know they said they were in Chico, California. So I'm not sure how strong the market is in Chico as it relates to floods and things like that. But here, again, I'm in the Midwest, and I know it's a ton of rain in the Midwest. Heck, in Florida and some of the other southern states, there's a ton of rain when you're dealing with hurricanes and things like that. And having these bags be able to build up a dam, if you will, or kind of absorb the water that may be in your basement or in your house at different points of time can be huge. So I actually like, I like what I'm hearing so far. I like what I'm seeing so far. To be interesting that they have a patent on it, because I've never seen anything like this. You're talking about a sand bag that doesn't have a sand in it. However, it goes from relatively nothing to 30 pounds just by being submerged or immersed in water for a period of time. That's actually pretty cool. I have to give it to these guys. That's pretty cool. It'd be interesting to kind of know more about who they are as people, as well as kind of what made them start this. and like I said, get into it. So let's get back to the video, see what the sharks say, and go from there.
That's pretty cool.
That
That's
is
really
very
cool. So this is it in front of us.
Yes, you have a sample right there. What you have in the jar represents 50 pounds of sand.
So, Damon, what
Crazy.
you've got in the jar right there is exactly what's inside each of those bags.
What material is it?
It is a absorbent polymer, and it absorbs 300 times its weight per granular in there.
Once
Hey.
I trigger it to make it 35 pounds, is there any way to get it back, or is it one-time
if you
deal?
have it out in the sun and there's no water around it, it will dehydrate again flat to the way it
Nice.
is now.
These
You
are
can reuse it.
reusable as many times as you
Nice.
need to, right?
That's a game changer.
Okay.
So the $1 million question. Were you in this field before? Did you have anything to do with this before?
No, I have a business. I import military clothing and vintage clothing. I deal with emergency equipment, gas
So
cans, and fuel.
Intuitive then to want to do something that helps in
Exactly.
emergencies.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Well, I studied graphic design in school. My first love is in typography. But
That's interesting.
once I got into the business with Maurice, I said, you know, you've really...
Wait.
That's your father,
That's his
isn't it?
pop?
Maurice
Yeah,
is your
my
dad,
father.
and you're calling
My
him
dad.
Maurice?
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, look it. Hey, that's not uncommon. I had a buddy growing up back in my hometown of Muskegon, Michigan, who called his pop Scotty. Again, hey, if you're watching this, Jarvis, I love you. That's still my brother to this day, one of my best friends. But growing up, that kind of threw me for a headwind when he referred him and his sibling referred to his pops as Scotty, and it was no issue at all. So again, that kind of threw the Sharks off guard when he referenced. I'm like, as he said Maurice, I'm like, didn't he say that was his pops? And I know we're all accustomed to calling our pops dad or daddy or pops or whatever the case may be, but it is some people out there that refer to their dad as their real name. I'm not sure if I'll let my kids refer to me by my real name, but there is people out there that is okay with that. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, so I joined the family business, and he hadn't done any marketing whatsoever for these bags. They've just been selling to the same regular customers. But I thought, gosh, we really should try to push these things. And so we did. We took it to a trade show. We filmed a video, which ended up going viral on TikTok.
Nice.
And there were 7 million views across TikTok and Facebook combined.
Maurice and Miles, have you ever worked together before? Is this the first time that you're working together?
So, like I said, I was into graphic design, and then we sort of faced a disaster of our own. We're from a town called Paradise, California. I'm not sure if any of you remember, but that town completely burned down.
Wow.
I lost my home. He lost his home. The business
Oh
burned
my
down.
God.
That was
All
your
of our
home?
employees lost their homes.
That's our home.
So
Oh
sorry.
my God.
And it was just time to rebuild the business. And I thought
It's my warehouse.
it was
Wow.
a brutal experience. And we just got out of town
So scary.
just in
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
Wow.
unfortunately, 84 people did not make it out of the town.
Oh.
Nice.
And so when it came to rebuilding, it seemed to me like a really hard task by myself.
So here we are, working together.
And
Nice.
so he helped you.
He jumped in, gave up.
Hey man, look it. Before they continue with this story, and it is a heartfelt story, I'm always a big fan of families working together. In this case, you have the father and the son working together. Unfortunately, the tragedy kind of brought them to kind of help each other out as it relates to the business. But again, I'm always a fan of families working together. Actually, I interview people, so if you haven't kind of checked out those interviews, please check that out on the YouTube page here. But I was interviewing someone today, actually the founder CEO of Busy Baby, and she was talking about how she kind of recruited her brother to work for her or work with her in the business. And again, it was her and her brother had a very close relationship, and it was even though they were cool, they were close. It was maybe some challenges because they did things differently, and that's some of the things that you don't think about when you're looking to get into a business with a family member. Even though you're cool with that family member, have a really good relationship with the family member, it's a whole different aspect in terms of doing business with that particular family member. But she talked about how having the tough conversations and kind of having each other's back, and regardless, just kind of making sure that them two are on the same page. And it seems like it kind of made them better people as well as have a stronger relationship. So again, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but again, one of the big reasons that she decided to recruit her brother was because she knew she can trust her brother. And a lot of times, especially these days when you're starting a business, it's kind of tough to figure out who you can trust when you're bringing on people, bringing on employees in the business to help out. But again, in her case, she was able to, Beth is her name. She was able to really trust her brother. And again, it ended up working out. So when I see these Shark Tank pitches that have family members, whether it's a daughter and a mother, or a son and a father, or a son and a mother, or vice versa, whatever the case may be, it always, man, I don't know. It's just something that it holds a special place in my heart, because I like it when families work together, and I think kind of ultimately working together, kind of building that what they call generational wealth is a big component to that, and having everybody be on the same page and knowing that, hey, it's nobody's going to have my back, or hopefully you can trust, such as your mother, your father, your daughter, your son, and whatever the case may have you. So again, I love to see these different father-son relationships, or just family dynamics, and unfortunately, it took it seems like in this case, a natural disaster to kind of bring them together, but I'm glad that they're working together and that they started the business and that they can rely on each other's expertise to take things to the next level. So let's get back to it and see what the Sharks say.
His career.
What a son. What a son.
That's what you want.
Okay. 200,000, 10%, 2 million valuation. You making any money?
So,
Dude, got a heart. The guy's telling you the story of his life.
Hey,
And you're
no, that's a
jumping too much.
Kevin gets
Well, he
straight to
made
it.
you laugh.
Thank you
I
for
told you
taking
Kevin
it
is going to
up.
ask about the
That's
money.
important.
Aw.
That's an important
And?
question, obviously.
What are you going to make this year?
Well, our fiscal year just closed and we did $90,000, but we have so far done absolutely zero marketing.
Zero.
So I believe that there's a huge untapped potential to make millions, because with some investment, we can make some really wonderful videos, really truly demonstrating this product and get some good marketing out there.
So, how much does one bag cost? Do you sell like sets of 20, or how does it work?
Yeah. So we sell the bags for $5.50 each. That's sort of the lowest price point.
$5.50 each?
That's
That's
right.
not bad.
And how does that compare to a
margin.
sandbag if you bought a sandbag?
Sandbags are free.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know.
they are.
I mean, yeah.
But you have to schlep them around.
Schlep and shovel.
How much does it cost you to
Store
make
them.
this?
$2. And with a little bit
Okay,
of better
margins.
equipment, we can get that down to $1.75.
That'd be a lot better. I like
Okay,
to get that
guys.
price
I'm
up
looking
about
at the deal
10.
saying to myself, the competition is free. That's what the sandbag is. And I get that it's
Just
sand
schlep
and
it and store
it's-
it.
But I'm going to guess, because you're only selling 90,000 a year, that 99.9% of the market in floods is using traditional sandbags. So there's a lot of education to be done here.
Education.
And you're always going to be fighting free, which is a tough place.
So for demonstration purposes,
Hey, let me know why is the sandbag free? Maybe I missed something, but I'm not understanding why is the sandbag free. I would imagine that the sandbag will still have some type of cost to it. So let me know in the comment section. Again, maybe I'm just, like I said, I'm out of it and I maybe missed that boat. But why is the sandbag free? Let's get it.
it's pretty fun to talk about floods. But the main use for these bags is in the home. Let's say a pipe breaks. Suddenly there's water coming out behind your
I like
washing
that.
machine.
I
You
like
can just
that.
lay down and it sucks up 5 gallons of water. And the other great thing that my wife uses it for on our farm, she puts them around plants when we go on vacation where we can't water.
Oh.
You let it just
like that.
release the
Oh,
water.
it releases the water?
So wait a minute. How long would it take for that to lose all
It depends
water?
on the weather. Where we live, it's about 110 degrees in the summer. So every 2 to 3 weeks is when we have to go up and rehydrate them.
So it
That's
lasts 2 to 3
crazy.
weeks.
Yes.
All right, guys, look, this is something that you have a lot of passion for. I get it. But I really hate competing against free. So for that reason, I'm out.
All right.
So if I may just respond to that quickly, Kevin.
Well, I don't think you can. Free is free.
How's the sandbag free? A little TiVo action here.
And up here you
Bring going.
And no.
are here.
Man.
Woman. Full of fear.
One shark is out. Miles and Maurice have 4 chances left to get a deal for their sandbag
I mean, I
alternative,
love the
Storm
concept.
Bag.
I think it's has
So
some use.
going back to you talked about that it can water your plants. So I'm just
Yeah.
curious. What if you made a little baby bag? Could somebody then use it inside their house in their plants if they wanted to go?
And again, keep in mind as Lori is talking that they have no marketing. They made $90,000, but that's off of no marketing. So again, I'm not sure if they came here too early as it relates to before they put some type of marketing efforts in it. But if they were able to educate the consumers, educate the public on this thing, man, I think this will be this could potentially be a hit, at least in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section as we get back to it. It seems like the Sharks are starting the game plan and think here.
Away at travel,
Sure.
would it water their plants
Absolutely.
slowly while they're gone?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty
This
good
has a
idea.
lot of
That's
uses.
genius, honestly.
So yeah,
Like,
thank you for that.
well,
Maurice and Miles, Damon and I would be interested. We would consider working with you, but it would need to be 40% because
What percent?
40.
Man, that makes sense.
Daniel and I will
$1 million
come
off
in together.
$90,000 in
We'll offer
sales.
you $200,000 for 40%, and you will get 2 sharks.
I have a lot of friends that do a lot of contracts with the military, so I try to add value there.
Well, you'll have also what you want, right? You'll have people who are bringing public awareness on television and various other things, right?
Exactly.
So there you have it. We have an offer right now, 40%.
so gentlemen, it has been 15 years.
Hey, and as they're kind of continuing on here, who would have thought that Mr. Wonderful would be the first one out and the other 4 Sharks will be at least not necessarily jockeying, but kind of trying to figure out what type of offer to make. That's the crazy part. Normally, Mr. Wonderful is giving some type of crazy offer or some type of royalty-led offer, but it seems like in this case, he's the first one out and the other 4 Sharks are trying to figure out this situation. Talk about a crazy experience.
Years making dreams come true for entrepreneurs just like you. So Mark and I were just talking, and we'd like to make some dreams come true for the 2 of you. So we have an offer as well. So we're going to offer the $200,000, but for 30%.
10% less. Again, they don't have any sales, so
I think this is great for NGOs and the military and all that kind of stuff, but you need to repackage it for different applications. So when people see it, there's more of an explanation and makes it easier to buy. We
Makes
think
sense.
selling it through, hardware stores and wholesale, right, I think is going to be huge. I personally think $5.50 is way too cheap for 90%
I agree
of
with
the
that.
applications.
At least 10.
You can charge $19.95 for commercial applications and $9.95
I
for your
agree
whole
with
plan applications and make a lot more money.
I
Miles and
agree.
Maurice, when it comes to design and excellence, not only did I design one of the most iconic brands named Kind, but look at Damon. Is there anybody more handsome and better dressed than this guy? He can help you with design.
With the
Show me
And in
stuff,
terms
yeah.
of distribution, whether it's Home Depot or Lowe's or anybody else, I have all those connections also, so I can deliver for you.
So what would you guys like to do?
well,
Counter 200 for 25%. I'll take that. You guys don't have any sales
Yeah.
besides 90,000.
so
And also,
I know.
What do you want to do?
Daniel, are we staying at 40, or what do you want to do?
Oh,
We'll do 30 also.
We'll do 30.
Okay,
We'll match.
now they're equal. What do you want to do?
Wait, do you need to? Do you
I'll
need
go
to
with
stop?
Lori
Daniel, come on,
and
Daniel.
Mark.
What are you looking for in a
Make a
partner?
decision, guys. That sandbag's going to blow up. You've got to make a decision.
Let them talk.
I'll counter for 225 or 220 and land on 225.
yeah, I'll let you say.
Lori, Mark, you got a deal.
Hey, man.
You're a smart man, and we're going to make you a lot more money.
Congratulations for these guys. And one of the things that I was taught in my my contracts class in law school is never accept the first deal. I would have definitely tried to counter $200,000 for 20% and hopefully try to land on $200,000 and 25%. Nonetheless, they did get a deal. It was interesting. I know these pitches are typically an hour and they kind of shrink it or condense it down to 10-minute episode. But I'm surprised that Lori didn't ask about the patent side of things. I'm actually interested as a patent attorney on whether or not they were able to get some type of patent protection on this ideal. I'll try to get these guys on a podcast. But I guess in the meantime, let's go to the website here. Now, Stormbag, they do have a trademark pending. So it looks like they filed the trademark application. I tried to check that out prior to the episode. They do have a pending trademark. It's not issued yet. It's a pending trademark. So they are protecting their IP, which as an attorney, that's one of the things that I love to see. The only other thing I would probably put on here is put the TM at the end of Storm Bag just to let the public know that you're using this thing in a trademark sense. That's one of the things that I would put on. But again, Storm Bag, they have filed a trademark application. It's not yet issued. However, it is pending. And typically, to the extent that you find something, see, that's the thing, man. FEMA approved. So when you're dealing with FEMA, man, that's a big thing that you can and just other bodies of the national government, non-toxic is made in the U.S. There's a lot of selling points on this thing that I think they can really take advantage of. I'm not sure if they're taking advantage of it. Let's see here. Our Storm Bags plant friendly? And obviously, they're watering plants, so I would imagine that they are plant friendly. Typically, when you talk about patents, you will see that at the bottom here. I'm not seeing anything. It seems like it's a California certified small business supplier. Wholesale. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on patents per se, which doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have it on there. Typically, you will see things at the bottom of the website or the first page or homepage on patents if they had one. And I typically like to not only put that is whether there's a patent issued or patent pending. I'll also put the patent number on there. Let people know that and you are protecting it. And again, I'm almost showboating. There's nothing wrong with showboating in this feature partners. I mean, that's interesting because it says Swiss Link is the owner of the trademark. So I'm not sure if they have some type of deal with Swiss Link. I'm not sure what Swiss Link is. It says military surplus, so I'm not sure if they're a military contractor. Maybe it seems like they maybe have a deal with Swiss Link on things, and because at least Swiss Link owns the or at least the owner of the trademark Storm Bag. It'll be interesting who owns the patent, but nonetheless, a great job, guys. Again, I'll try to get these guys on a podcast. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Again, like I said, I was just thinking about the storms and flooding and things like that in the home that they also obviously pointed to, but I didn't think of, hey man, you can release the water to your plants when you're gone, or, as well as other uses of the application of this product. So man, kudos to them. Again, I think it's simple. I think it's effective, and I think it definitely has a market. I think with a little bit of marketing on it and education to the public on it, this thing can really be something. It seems like they already have some approval of some high governmental departments, which is a great thing. It'll be interesting to see whether or not that deal with Mark and Lori end up closing, and to the extent that it did, if it benefited them at all. I'm gonna try to get these guys on a podcast, but again, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Protect that IP. So until next time, you guys take care. Peace.